Hello and welcome back to the Company Interiors channel. My name's Nick Clarke. In today's video we're going to be going over to the design studios once again for a floral display using preserved plants. In particular we're displaying eucalyptus, a very popular product. All of our products, we've actually put a link in the description below this video if you want to have a look at all the products used in today's styling using preserved plants. And if you like this sort of thing, please subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell if you want to see more of these type of videos. But let's go and have a look at the display today that Denise will be making for us.
Hi, Denise here with Company Interiors. Today I want to show you how to make a mass design using preserved hydrangea and preserved eucalyptus. This is a more formal style arrangement and be perfect in a living room or an office setting. The first piece that you need to work with, first step, is just to choose your container. I've chosen a fairly sort of heavy round style here. It's going to work well with my larger design. Typically your end product result of your design will be 2 to 3 times the height of your container. So bear that in mind when you're choosing which container you want to work with, so you make sure it's in scale with your finished product. Then you take a piece of a florist foam and make sure you cut it to size to fit in your container. You want it nice and snug, so you can use some florist tape to secure that. Or in my case, I've just taken a few other offcuts of the florist foam that I had left and just wedged them in tightly so that they're nice and secure. You just don't want that wobbling or falling over once you get started. Then the first piece is to then start with your outside foliage elements. So I'm taking my baby blue eucalyptus, which has some nice long straight stems, to create my initial frame. So I'm going to take one tall straight piece and just insert that straight down the middle to give you your initial height. And then I'm going to take another couple of pieces to give us the side width. So in my case I'm going to do sort of a symmetrical design. So I want one piece on either side. Don't have to be perfectly symmetrical, but just to give you that general idea of the width. Now this is going to give you the frame that you're working with. Now all of your other elements are going to fit within these. They're not going to be longer or wider than those. So then you can start just filling in with your other eucalyptus branches. So I have some of this beautiful bluey green one. So I'm working with the Stuartina, Cinerea, the baby blue and the Populas, all 4 varieties today in this arrangement. So as you can see, once I start putting them in, you're just creating that nice frame that your foliage eventually will, that your flowers will eventually go into. So anything you do on one side, repeat on the other side. So there we are. Here's the next level of flowers. So now you can see I have quite a robust frame for the outline. So now I'm going to take some of the shorter pieces and start filling in around the front to just continue this frame. So there we go. Now I've filled in a few more pieces, as you can see, towards the bottom. Now probably you'd notice as I was going along I had pre-cut my elements. So I find that an easy way of doing it. It's just pre-cut all of your branches, so you have some long pieces, some short pieces. Obviously you won't know until you start arranging them how many of each, but it just makes the process easier. A bit like cooking, if you have everything pre-measured, it just helps speed along your process. So then the next piece, I'm going to work with some of this other beautiful brighter green Stuartina eucalyptus, just to give us another color dimension in our greenery. And I'm going to follow the same line as I've already done to try and insert some of these pieces. Now, as you're filling in your green, do keep in mind that you're going to be also adding some of your flower elements. And you need to leave a little, make sure you have enough room in your foam. One thing, as you're doing these large arrangements, you can fill up your foam, depending on how wide your container is, quite quickly. So you need to make sure you're leaving space for everything, and then you won't have an overcrowded situation. So I think that's a good starting point for my foliage. I can always move things along a bit later as I need to. But now I'm going to go ahead and add my flower elements, and then I'll see what else I need to fill in the blanks. So I've got a few different hydrangeas here. I have this beautiful plum, the shorter stem variety, and then I've got some of the long stem varieties, which are these beautiful soft pastel colors, all imported from Japan. Gorgeous flowers, very, very soft all natural, all real flowers that have been preserved. So I'm going to start by inserting my shorter one, because this will be the kind of lower element focal point. And I'm going to just try and insert it towards the bottom like this. Because the stem is quite fat, just make sure you have a good space in your foam. Insert that in quite firmly. Like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and position my other pieces. Now, a good thing to do as you're starting this point is to hold them up and try and decide where you think you're going to place them before you start pressing them in your foam. I want to have mine tucked closely together and sort of all resting on each other as if like a little nest. So I think I'm going to start with the taller, larger one. And you've got to find a place in your foam. Just squeeze that in. There we go. So now I have these two tucked in tightly close together. The purples and the pinks. Beautiful color scheme there. And you can see now the frame of the foliage around the edge of that. So even though this is obviously a forward-facing mass design arrangement, so it's designed to go against a wall or in an area where you're not looking at the back, but you do want some coverage at the back, because as you look through, you need it to make sure it's still three-dimensional. You don't want it to be like a perfectly flat pancake style. So make sure you keep adding some foliage elements around the back as well. That way, as you look through it, you can get a much better sense of fullness. Just makes it look a little bit more lush. So I'll just add a few more pieces here. Okay, I think I'm happy with how this is coming along right now. I'm going to add a few more green elements on the back. But the last element I wanted to put in is some more seasonal pieces. Now, the beauty of doing preserved flowers and foliage is that it will last you weeks or even months of time once you've made your arrangement. So you can make this base arrangement with just the flowers and foliage, and it's perfect for any season. But you could change it up seasonally just by adding a few different things. So right now I have a few sort of dried pumpkin and twig kind of elements. But you could easily imagine putting in a few sort of silvery elements for a Christmas display, or turning this into sort of after Christmas, winter elements or some things heading into the spring. So right now I'm just going to start with some of these fall elements. So there we are. There's the fall elements added into my little arrangement. I think as I stand back from it, I'm going to just decide if I want to adjust anything, but I think right now, as you can see, that looks quite pretty just the way it is. And that was fairly straightforward to put together. So the final step when I'm doing any of these types of arrangements, if you've used foam, is to take a little bit of moss. So I have some green reindeer moss here. And just fill in around the edges of your arrangement, anywhere that you can see the florist foam. So when you're up close to it, sometimes you can see through the foliage. And you don't want to be able to see any of that foam or the mechanics. So just tuck that in. Doesn't matter if it's trailing off the container a little bit. It helps fill in the blanks. That way, if somebody's up close and they're looking at it from any angle, it still looks good. Okay, so how quick and easy that was to put together. A beautiful preserved hydrangea and eucalyptus display, great for fall, but also you can transition it into a different season quite easily by changing your accessories. So I hope you enjoyed that. Check back with us for more videos and hope to see you soon. Thanks very much.